Hi guys, happy new year. I feel like screaming, but my baby's sleeping, so let her just keep sleeping. We're trying to record this before, but she was like, no, you're not having it. Not now. Hi guys, welcome to 2021. I'm super excited. I am too excited. God has been so good to us, and to be very sincere with you, I'm excited about this year. Like my last video, I was supposed to post a video on YouTube, but funny enough, I slept off. But I should be able to post it out. It will be like an old video, and I was just trying to talk about my show Life Matters with Anu Adedire. Where I was talking about that the Lord laid upon my heart that I'm meant to stretch, and it's gonna stretch us in different areas. And funny enough, my gist partner for tonight, Yinks, was telling me about an area where God is trying to stretch him, and I was just smiling because this year a lot of us will do a lot of unimaginable, jaw-dropping, amazing things, and God is going to surprise us this year. So get ready for your blessings. So this evening. It's midnight here in Canada. But if you this is your first time coming on the channel, my name is Anu Adedire. I vlog about faith, motherhood, weddings, and life matters. And today, I've chosen to start off something for the year where I have one content creator per month. Hopefully, please pray that I keep this consistent because I'm only human, right? But I'm starting the year with having a friend and a brother of mine. His name is Yinka Odofin. If you want to write him a check, but if you don't want to write him a check right now, if you want to subscribe to his YouTube channel, make sure that you go to Yinks. He's a travel content creator. He gives us all the juicy tips on why we should travel, how we should travel on a budget. It's just sometimes how he almost misses his own flights. But yeah, hi guys, meet Yinka, and Yinka is here to give us tips and tricks on how we should travel better this year. And I wanted to also let us know that this year it's gonna be different. We're gonna be doing a lot of content creation that will affect us, and that's why we have the part of Life Matters on the show. So welcome Yinka, how you doing?
Hi, thank you very much. I am doing blessed. 2021,
Guys,
let's go.
2021 is super amazing. How was your 2020?
My 2020 was actually quite not that bad, to be honest. Like, I had a lot of
Mm,
ups. Like, of course, I had a few downs, a few deaths and stuff, but for the most part, it was pretty good.
mm.
Thank God for everything. It was just a year of, I saw that it was a year of, it was needed. It was a year to truly seek God and truly just like get into what God wanted and therapy and just some little things that affected you that I didn't think was important. And you're like, as Africans, therapy, okay, only therapy. So like just little things I saw that was actually much needed. I'm so happy that I went through that year and 2021 is looking to be amazing. But my 2020 was quite great to be honest. Thank God for everything.
That's amazing. Now we thank God for 2020. 2020 was that year that we needed to just like take our time to refresh, reintegrate everything that we're going to have this year. But we thank God for the year. Now let's jump into it. So, just like we're talking about before we went off the first recording, and I was saying, um, most of us we live with parents that till now my parents don't really go on vacation like that, and it's not because of anything. They didn't just see it as vacation. You get, it's not like it's a sin, it's not like it's anything wrong with it, but their own generation was that kind of generation that they just worked and worked and worked. And it's the same thing I say a lot of our generation, that we've taken the other side to it, where we're like, I need to give myself a break. I need to enjoy life. I need to play hard as I've worked hard. I need to travel the world. I need to see the world. And it was when I got here that I heard people take a year off after high school, and they want to go see the world, and they come back and go to university. I'm like, in whose house? Eh? You finish secondary school, enter university. You get so
University.
a lot of us didn't have that opportunity. But why
Lie,
do you
lie.
think that our own generation, we flip the coin right now, and we're now like in that phase where we um are kind of gonna be looking at more, how do I put it, we're gonna be looking at more people travel, and our own children will be those kind of children that they want to see the world that we did. Why do you think it's changing? Why travel?
I think it's changing because one, as you talk about being back home and it was not something really big on the parents. I don't think maybe their passport was also as strong. So like they didn't have the luxury or the opportunity to be able to just do it. Granted, yes, it was easier to fly, like cheaper probably to travel to the UKs and stuff like that. But I don't think they had the luxury. The mindset was always hustle, 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 grind, grind, grind. Just coming from an African household, that's just how it's been. Now you take a first gen African or second gen African like myself comes to Canada, relocates, you get exposed for a little bit and you realize that life is not just to be working, working, working and grinding, grinding. There's a different way of grinding in 2021. So you also, as you're grinding, you also have to enjoy your life. So one of the things that I take is, if I were to die today, would I be happy with the life that I have lived so far? And to be honest, yes, I would be, because I've been able, in the only short amount of years I've lived on Earth, I've been able to do quite a bit and travel to quite a bit of countries, and I'm quite very happy and thankful to God for that opportunity, and of course the Canadian passport too, because shoot, without that passport, man, it'll be a lot harder. It's not that it's impossible; it would just be harder to easily go to some of the countries I've been able to travel to. Hopefully,
Well,
that answers your
I think
question.
yeah, I think that passport is another is another topic on its own, because God help us with the so as a black person, as an African, as a Nigerian, do you think that our mindset would have changed if the country was a little more progressive in the way they were thinking before now, and even now that we're still having so many issues that our own parents fought for? Do you think that also stops a lot of people from traveling?
I think I'll choose to disagree. So I think traveling, even in Nigeria right now, people still do want to travel the world, especially because of social media. The advancement in technology has been able to put all these great countries and locations out to everyone in the world. Nigeria are very big on social media, especially on Twitter, so and Instagram. So once people see like, Yinks is in Finland, Yinks is here, they start to feel FOMO, fear of missing out. So they as well want to travel. So I think that even if Nigeria was more progressive, people would still want to travel more now. People still already want to travel more now. And it's a lot harder for them to do that with the green passport that they have, or other countries in Africa. It's a lot harder for other Africans to do it, I would say. But it's not impossible, because we have people like Ufoma, Nikki, we have people, Nigerians, Toke, Nigerians that are traveling around the world with their green passport and doing it. So it's possible.
And hopefully the image and beauty of Nigeria still comes out. But let's go to traveling on a budget, which I think we talked about earlier. Traveling on a budget, a lot of people have had that issue. Like when I want to travel, so let tell me the kind of traveler you are. Are you the kind of traveler that packs all their clothes, and when you go there, you start offloading? Oh, I shouldn't have brought this. Or you're the type that you arrange per day? What kind of traveler are you?
So I am a mix of both.
Okay.
I because I only travel hand luggage these days. I don't travel checked luggage unless if I'm going to Nigeria, which I've only done once in the last 10 years. But outside of that, it's hand luggage, carry on, and my backpack. That's it. So even with that, I typically, what I overpack typically is usually shoes. I've done a lot better with that now, more than ever. I have lots of shoes. I probably have, as you can see in the background over here, there is a rack of shoes. I have another rack in the second room. So I don't pack per day, but I guess, yeah, I pack per day, but I also have extras just in case if I spill myself or an accident happens. I'm already traveling on budget. I'm not trying to buy new clothes out already. I already have the clothes here. So there's no point in me traveling, like, packing over a pack. But the last
Oh,
few
okay,
but the
yeah.
last few travels I've just done, though, I did just school bag and I had it in a travel cube. I took one shoe or two pairs of shoes. This last one I did one pair of shoes and that was it. So like that was a big like step down for me and it was good. It was fine.
So let me give you one traveling mishap that happened to me. I think I was talking about it when I did a video on wedding tips, 5 wedding tips. Yeah, 5 wedding tips when dress shopping. And if you've not seen that video, please, I'm gonna insert it in somewhere here. So let me give you this trip. So we're going to Nigeria for the wedding, and we got to Dubai. And we got to before we got to Dubai, we got to Ontario. Now getting to Ontario, we're like, so I'm the kind of person that I pack per day. So I give myself two outfits every day. So if one messes up, the other will work, or vice versa. Then I pick a dress for dinner. I like to wear sneakers, so I wear more sneakers. But for like dates, or I want to go out or whatnot, I take like heels and stuff like that. So we get to Ontario, and they're telling us, "Oh, everything's good, everything's fine." And we when we sailed through, so when we're about to board, a particular lady was telling us that, oh, they might not want us to take our school bag and the what they call it, the Emirates will not
Carry
let us take no, the your hand luggage and your school bag. They will not allow you to take one. You have to they will not have you
to
take
take
two.
both.
You have to take just one. We're like, oh, that we have our stuff in it and da 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 da. So she's like, oh, don't worry, you're gonna get in Dubai, da 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 da. And we're like, okay, no problem. Then we get to Dubai, and we keep waiting at the airport. We kept waiting.
I
We kept waiting. So went to the guys for luggage. When everybody had taken their bags, they left. No, we were still waiting. And they're like, oh, I'm so sorry. Your bags have gone to Lagos.
ah
Now, let me tell you what happened. So what my husband did was he removed his camera lenses and put them in his school bag and gave them the hand luggage which had his clothes. I did same. I took my school bag. I gave them my hand luggage that had my clothes. So we got to Dubai. They said all the boxes, three of them had gone to Lagos. So guess what, Yinka? We had already had like a free hotel. So the package that came with the flights was that they'll give you a visa in Dubai. You're gonna stay there for 48 hours or 20, yeah,
oh
48
wow.
hours. Everything was really good. So we're like, we'll stay there for 24 hours, then we leave and da 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 da. We're able to go to the mall. We're able to enter town, right?
Right.
No
No
issues.
issues.
So when you were saying that, oh, I already have everything sorted. So that was where out of our budget that we didn't plan, right? We didn't plan to go shopping. We had to go shopping because we didn't have any clothes to change into. It was freaking cold in Canada. Coming to Dubai, the breeze was so hot.
Hot.
Do you understand? So when people say they travel on a budget, and I had that experience, I I don't think that I tighten the world on my chest about it anymore because I believe that anything can happen. So we had to go shopping. My husband had to buy everything, like from head to toe. I had to buy everything from head to toe, and it was not the same. Like it was not.
Mhm.
Like, we had to be converting from CAD to dirhams. We had to it was a lot. So for me traveling on a budget is very realistic, but when you go through things like that, it just dampens your spirit about over planning
Yeah.
and planning on a budget. So what are the exact tips if I actually want to travel on a budget? What are the tips that you would say, okay, oh guys, if you're going for a girls trip, plan for this. If you're going on a boys trip, if you're going for a family trip, what are the things to put in place to travel on a budget?
Yeah. Okay. So the first place to start is to know exactly how much your budget is. So many people want to travel on budget, but they don't actually have a budget like that they want to spend. Like they just assume everything is going to be cheap. But what is cheap? Because what is cheap for me might not be necessarily cheap for you, right? So you need to first
Very
know
true.
your budget. Like if I'm going to Tulum, for instance, and I'm spending 5 days, my budget is to spend $250. Is that realistic or not? So do research, do all that kind of stuff. So know that first. Also be aware that when you're traveling on budget, there's people that live there locally. So 9 times out of 10, if they're surviving, that means you as well can survive. So that means that there's things that you could find that would also be able to fit into your budget kind. What you just have to do is the research. People don't want to do the research. So they're like, well, I went to this place and I was paying this hefty amount of money. Yes, cool. You're paying that amount of money, but you're also a tourist. You have to try and find the local gems, what people locally eat, drink, go to adventure, like those are where you get the tips. Like, so you live in Edmonton, for instance, right? If someone like me,
No, the
I'm not a
reason why I'm
local.
making the face, the reason why I'm making the face because guys don't abuse me. But traveling, because I knew that okay, so I'm the kind of person as a Yoruba woman, I like pepper.
Pepper them gang.
So for my honeymoon, I carried Gary into every country.
It's a lie.
I'm serious. I had Gary in my bag. Like they
Oh
see
God.
they collect everything, oh, but that Gary, I took it from Edmonton to Toronto to Dubai to Lagos to Port Harcourt to Ibadan, back to Lagos to Ibadan, back to Dubai, right?
How
From
much
Dubai,
Gary did
I
you
carried
carry?
guy. I took a lot because I knew that like I'm going to drink it. So on the plane, when I know I'm not going to, I don't eat on the plane because it's not pepperish. So yeah,
Are you for real?
I am very serious.
So you just drink Gary?
So I drank Gary. I drank
No,
Gary in Dubai. I
no
ate,
groundnuts.
yeah, no, I ate Shake Shack. I love Shake Shack.
Shake Shack is quite
The
good.
Shake Shack in Dubai, I love it. But to be very so the way why I was making faces because all these say, oh, go to the local. This the next trip I'm gonna do if I'm traveling out of Canada, I'm going to carry Gary and I'm going to carry Pepe. So I don't, yeah. So let's move on.
So, wow, that's quite crazy. I've heard some crazy stuff, but that one I think almost tops it. Gary, I drink Gary every day, but like, shush. Okay, so yeah, so have a budget, find the local places. So you have to make sure you do your research. If you don't do your research, you're gonna be screwed. So do your research, and then after that, use Instagram. So use Pinterest as well. Pinterest is a very hidden gem that people don't know about. So let's say, for instance, I want to go to Lagos. I would search Lagos on budget or how to travel to Lagos on a budget because I know exactly what I'm looking for. Someone else might have done it and they've done it on budget. So I'm going to search Lagos on a budget, Paris on a budget, Tulum on a budget, wherever it is I'm going to, Edmonton on a budget. People, bloggers these days write everything. Everything is at the tips of our fingers. So just utilize those opportunities or those resources that have been given to us, and you will more than likely find what you like. Do you know you could go to Lagos on a budget? Yes, Lagos is expensive, but there is over 5 million people living in Lagos. Do you think all more than those people? There's over 5 million. It's like I think 10 million or something. Do you think all those people are all like filthily rich? No. So if they're all surviving somehow, then guess what? That means you also can survive somehow if you go there on a budget.
Mm. Yeah, that's very true. And I think that just like what I said before we recorded it, I said that it's also important for us to actually explore the cities we live, the states we live, the provinces
That's
we
right.
live. To be very sincere, this year last year was the first time I explored a bit of Alberta and I went to Kananaskis, I went to I
Ah,
went I went to a lot of places around that area, right? And it was fun. I was 36. I was 36 weeks pregnant. So I was between my 9 to 10th, almost 36 to 10, 37. Yeah. Between 36 and 37 or 38 week. That was when I went gondola, the ride. I really, really enjoyed it. Even though a lot, we didn't tell anybody just because my parents would have just been like, oh, you're these children, you get. And it was after we gave birth, we were like, went on a
right.
trip, right? And I was showing them the videos and like, you these children, hey, you these children, and I'm like, well, it's all over. The baby's out. Hallelujah. But
Right.
it was such a very good experience. I think that for people that are married, I would say that talk about it. My husband has a very different taste when it comes to traveling than I do. I'm the cheapsteak. To be very sincere with you, and like for our honeymoon, he took us. He booked. I think it was a a hotel for every day.
A
Yeah,
new hotel for every day.
yeah. In when we're in Vancouver, so we're in one hotel for a particular day. The next day we're in a separate different hotel. The next day
Why
we're
is
in
that?
different. He just wanted to enjoy each day, but he was not thinking of, oh, we're gonna be carrying 6 bags, or we're gonna be this, or we're gonna be tired, or we're gonna have jet lag. He was not. He didn't kind of. So the plan was
Plan
very
that out.
sweet. It was so, and it was very very sweet. For me, I still have an issue with it. But a lot of guys actually, you're the first guy that will react that way. A lot of guys actually loved it. A lot of guys are like, "Oh, that's so sweet," and I'm like,
That's just
"Oh,
stress.
okay," but no, 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 no.
That's
So
just not a that
for
so
for me, it's not something that I like. Looking back at it, most times we laugh about it because we didn't we didn't put into consideration jet lag. For the first 2 days when we were in Vancouver, we're literally just sleeping because we're coming from Lagos to Dubai, so everything
exactly.
just changed, right? The other thing we didn't put into consideration is the boxes. Like, so at some point, what we did was to just post the boxes to Edmonton because we had to now. Yeah, yeah.
But so you see, I react like this because I'm also a regular traveler. So that what your husband did is very typical male thing. That's what us men do typically, like that don't travel. That's how like it's a cool thing to do, but
It's
it's
cool,
also not
but
realistic.
looking at it in retrospect, I would never do that. Like it would be nice.
Right.
So I would do that if it was within the same, like if it
Time
was like
zone.
time zone, same area. So it would have been different. But for me, I felt like all those things were not put in place. But it was a very sweet gesture, right? But
Right.
for me, at that point, it was just a lot of all that stress. So for me, traveling hasn't been. I like driving. If you want to travel, road trips,
Ah,
call me. I love road trips. Yeah, so that's the opposite for me. I like road trips. Like I drove 38 weeks all the way to Kananaskis around 1
you
a.m.
did.
Like I'm that kind of person. Like if you want that joyride person, yeah. But when it comes to flights, when it comes to the food and everything, so my dad likes sitting beside me when we travel together because he knows that I will not eat my food. I will sleep throughout the flight, no matter how it is. I'm gonna sleep throughout the flight. Some people can't sleep. Yeah, don't give me that bad eye. But I'm that kind of person.
Aha.
You sit beside me, you're gonna eat all my food because I'm gonna sleep all. I don't know. Maybe
I
God does
beg,
that.
let me enter your flight, please.
I think God just gives me extra sleep when I travel. I always just sleep. I slept. I think I slept the Dubai to Vancouver, and that was about 9 to 10 hours, if I can remember.
Wow, the
Like
whole
I,
way.
the funny thing is, let me give you one. So there was a particular trip I went, and the lady kept coming to wake me up. And when I saw it, I'm like, I don't want the food. I just want to sleep. She's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I said, thank you. And literally, I went back to sleep. So I, I don't know. Maybe when they start making jollof rice on the flights, jollof rice and all those stuff. But now I'm doing better in
uh,
eating some very nice food. So maybe I'm going to change. But right
I
now,
pray, I pray you change in 2021.
2021, if you're going to go on a road trip with me, make sure there's food. If you're traveling abroad, make sure there's Gary and Pepe so we can.
Gary, I'm so weak. I really
No,
can't.
so we're gonna do that. So before we conclude this conversation, because it's such fun. This is the first time I'm doing something like this for my channel. So apart from like doing this as the normal interviews I always do. So for
Right.
you, what are the top 5 things that a guy should have in his backpack if they're gonna search your backpack today when you want to travel? What are your 5 essentials that you can't travel without?
Five essentials. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so of course my passport
Okay.
bag. So I have a passport bag that has
Okay.
all my documents. So being
Okay.
that I live in Mexico, I have usually I'll have both my passports, so Canadian, Nigerian. If I'm doing international trip, I'll have both. If I'm doing
Okay.
local, like and when I mean local between US and Canada, I maybe might not take the Nigerian one, but I
Okay.
have all my documentations in there.
Okay.
Pen is a must have in that passport bag. Then
Okay.
the next thing I have is I have my toiletry. So I have
Okay.
this very compact toiletry bag that I always carry with me. It would
Wow.
have my lotion, and then it's like baby oil mixed with some fancy lotion. Then I have
Wow.
Vaseline. Then I have toothpaste. Then I have Paco. So in case if I forget my toothbrush, I can use Paco to brush my teeth. Then I have this
So for
inside
those that
that.
don't know what Paco is, that's chewing stick
Yes,
in 2021.
yes. I have it
Yinka.
wrapped inside newspaper. I still, yeah, it's crazy, but because just in case if I don't have toothbrush, I can still brush my teeth somehow. That's how we
Wow.
do it. Yeah, and then I have this roll-on thing, but it's for health. It's like medicinal, just in case if I'm feeling sick, because it's easy to feel type of when you're flying or when you're traveling a lot. So I have that in that packet. And oh, and then I have my toothpaste, my toothpick, the ones with the thingy.
Yes.
So that's the
Wow.
second thing. The third must travel with me typically is my tripod because Princess, that's her name. Because more than likely I'm solo traveling and I need a photographer. So Princess, my travel tripod, typically comes with me. That way I could be able to take most of my pictures by myself. I don't need anyone to take my pictures for me. And so if you check on my Instagram, most of my pictures be popping, but Princess is one who's taking my pictures for me. So that's how I typically travel. That's number three. Number four is a traveling cube. So whatever clothes that I'm traveling with, I always put it in a traveling cube. So like that way it's compact. So it's like the traveling bag that you could zip up that you can put all your different clothes and different things like that with you. I always have that with me. That way, if I want to travel or anything like that, then I have that. The last thing that is a must travel with me is actually my lip balm. I can't travel without a lip balm because I burnt my mouth in El Paso. I lived in El Paso, it was desert, and so it got burnt, and it looked like I was a smoker, like a heavy smoker. I promise I've never smoked one day in my life. It was just my lips got burnt from the dry weather, so my lips are now not used to the weather everywhere I travel to. So I always have to make sure I have my lip balm, and the lip balm I use is Carmex. So if it's not Carmex, I'll have other types just in case, but Carmex is typically what I have, the yellow one. And those are my five travel essentials, I think, that I always have with me. Of course, phone for pictures, but yeah.
Wow. Like everyone is different. Like I actually can't even Wow, wow, wow. That's amazing. That's amazing. So for those that are probably meeting Yinka for the first time, he's your guy if you want to go travel, you want to get tips, travel on a budget, and like you heard, he has told you to explore the city, explore the food. Don't be like I know, don't drink Gary and carry Gary all over the world. But if you want to be like me, whoop whoop, we are here, we got you. But yeah, so don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. All our social media handles you can see displayed on the screen. It's all at Anodidiri. And on Twitter, I am at Anu. I am Anodidiri. That's what I am on Twitter. And we are also on Clubhouse. Hallelujah. Whoop
Hey,
whoop.
hey,
So
hey.
I am at Anodidiri on Clubhouse and he's at YinkZZ. So you can see
Correct.
he's a travel content creator. You can also follow him on YouTube. Subscribe to our channel. Help our ministry. Thank you very much. But
Yos.
here we call it a day. Welcome to 2021. Make sure that you explore your city, explore your town, enjoy yourself. From Yinka, is there anything you want to tell the people?
Yeah, the last thing is, guys, just make sure you travel. Of course, with 2021, post pandemic, or during the pandemic, make sure if you want to travel, do it safely. If you need to get a vaccine, get it. If you're not sure of getting the vaccine, then don't get it. Then just, but travel, explore. It's really good for your mind. It's therapeutic. It's one of the ways of experiencing God's beauty. So it's something that we're supposed to do. That's how God created us. Go out there and live life and enjoy
Amen
it.
to that. Amen to that. So thank you guys for watching this vlog and we hope that you enjoy it just like we've enjoyed recording this. God bless you. Bye.